Love of neighbor is different than most people think of it, in my opinion. Just my opinion. If I were to ask you to define love, how would you do it? There have been books, there have been songs written about love. People write love letters to each other. I mean, if you had to define love, love God, love each other, how would you define it? For most modern people, I think it is a sentiment or an emotion or a feeling, something like that. But that is not right. Love is a decision. It is a choice that you make to sacrifice yourself for those you love. A better way to say it. Christ laid down his life for us. You should lay down your lives for other people. That is love. That is love. It's no emotion. I could prove that to you. For those of you who have been married maybe 10 or 20 or 30, 40 years, you don't always feel in love. You do not. But yet you love each other. But you don't sometimes feel like it. You must make the decision to treat the other people in your lives, the people you love, with respect, with kindness, with dignity, even though you may not feel that. Love is not an emotion. Emotions are fleeting. Love is a choice that you make with your own will. With your own will, you choose it. Love is more of an action than it is a feeling. Let me give you some examples, okay? So it's not so abstract. Do you remember 9/11? I remember where I was. I was watching TV and it came on. And it showed those police and those firefighters and those first responders. And they were all running into those burning buildings. And they knew they wouldn't come out. They did it, I think, because they were motivated by love. They sacrificed themselves. They laid down their own lives for those other people. That's love. Another example. This is the best one, and that is Christ on the cross. Jesus on the cross laid down his life for all of us. He was innocent, we were guilty. No greater love hath a man than to lay down his life for his friends. You see, it is a choice. It is a decision that you make. Another one has to do with your parents. Think about your own parents. I was the oldest of 7 kids. And I still remember my mother and father, and at the end of the day, they would be so exhausted. They had poured themselves out completely for all 7 of us. Next day, they get up and do it again. Think of your own parents. Think of your own parents. For those of you who have children, think how you pour out your lives for the children and for the other people in your life. That's love. It is a choice, a decision to sacrifice yourself for other people. Another one that people are very, very familiar with now in this pandemic, and this is especially true like in March and April and May, when everything was locked down in the United States. And I still remember seeing some of these doctors and nurses, and they would be on duty for like 20 or 24 hours, and they would come out of those intensive care units. Remember the pictures? And they would have those masks on, and the masks were so tight that they had cut into the bridge of their nose, and blood was coming down their face, caring for those other people who had the COVID. Sometimes they got sick and died themselves. That's love. Love is a choice. It's a decision. When you have teenagers, or really children of any age, who are obedient and respectful to their parents and treat their parents with dignity, that's love. It's a choice they make. Sometimes they may not feel like doing that, but it is a choice.